Hello and welcome. This video is here to orient you to the visual layout of your D2L course. This video is designed for my online communication courses and is going to be used in both my public speaking online and fundamentals of communication online courses. So if the course number does not match up or the content looks a little bit different, that's okay. My courses are organized in the same way, no matter what type of class I teach. And to avoid reinventing the wheel, I like to keep things consistent and only do one recording instead of several. So when it comes to our course, everything is going to show up in pretty much one of two places. If you're watching this video, the odds are you've already found the announcements page, which is going to be called your landing page. Whenever you click onto our course, let's say that you are in your D2L homepage and you see something like this and you've decided to click into our particular course, then you're going to see a delivery that looks a little bit like this. And this landing page here in the center is where announcements are going to consistently show up for you whenever I have something to say. And I normally post between 1 and 2 announcements a week with just reminders, additional resources, sometimes some help or things that the college wants me to communicate with you. So please make sure to check that regularly. And if you have a sneaking suspicion that you found something somewhere but can't find it again, always go back to your announcements page and see if that's where you found it. Now, the other area where pretty much everything is going to be this content tab. Now, this is called a navigation bar here at the top of the screen where it has things like assignments, calendar, class list, content discussions, and grades and quizzes. Now, your navigation bar is going to look a little bit different than mine because yours is going to be in student view, whereas mine is in faculty view. So if you do not have all of these tabs up here at the top, please don't be concerned by that. But what I am going to ask you to do is to go to the Content tab. Now, I'm going to switch into a View as Student mode. So when I click into this, there's not going to be a whole lot to look at because I have everything time released. This means that your semester is going to show up 1 week at a time. And since I am recording this before our semester starts, obviously your entire semester isn't going to show up for you. So I'm going to take myself outside of student mode in just a moment. But what I want you to see is that at the top there will be instructor contact information that's going to have my name, my office location, and phone number. These office hours here will very likely change because I teach in a different location every semester, so the office hours and location are going to be listed differently than what you see here. Underneath that, there is going to be a course information tab, which is going to have some background information for you. Some of you may be operating in old D2L versus new D2L. This course is hosted in new D2L, which means things are a little bit harder to find. I have a separate video which explains the differences between these two if you would care to look at that. But this is going to be your background information. If you look on the left-hand navigation of the screen, you're going to see that there are sub-modules for your syllabus and addendum, and then some different help links and policies for you all to look at. However, you can see if I try to scroll down, absolutely nothing is happening. But if I come up here to where the top right corner is where you see arrows, I can now start clicking through these resources. So I've clicked over once, it says the syllabus and addendum should be there. You can't see anything because it is new D2L and it requires additional clicks to find anything useful. So you can go to the left-hand navigation to click on the exact item that you're looking for, or you can go to the top right-hand corner and use the arrows to navigate to find the documents you're looking for. I am not going to go over these documents in this video because that would quadruple the length of this video, but I highly recommend that you very carefully and thoughtfully go through your syllabus and addendum, as those will include the policies and assignment descriptions for this course. And since I am a rule follower and I am going to hold you to the expectations of this policy, you need to make sure you are familiar with them. So on your own time, you will need to read your syllabus carefully and read your addendum carefully, and feel free to email me any questions you may have. Now, the rest of this section is going to be links and access and instructions. Just if you need something, I have extra things here for you, but you will need to go through those as you have need. And at this point, I'm going to take this out of student mode so that it can return to you seeing what your whole semester looks like. So if I pop back into my content tab, you're going to see a whole lot more information here right on the left-hand side. You're going to see that I have our class separated into weekly modules. This is done in the hope of keeping things visually consistent and easily accessible for you. One of the hardest things to navigate in online learning is the fact that every course is going to be organized a little differently because instructors think differently. For me, I think in boxes. So each week is going to populate on its start date. If you are looking on the left-hand side of the screen with me, you'll be able to note that each module has a start date. The start date is Monday of each week. So for at the time of this recording, the very first week one module is going to populate on August 24th, which is a Monday. And so week one is going to show up for you at that point. Week two won't show up until the next week, and that kind of thing. So all you need to do is to go into whatever module we are in for whatever week we are covering. So for example, this video is going to be posted in week one, in addition with background information, some questions for thought, additional resources if you need them, and it will have instructions on what content we're covering in the class that week, as well as what assignments, if any, are due. Please keep in mind that this recording is being recorded inside of an online public speaking course. If you are in a Fundamentals of Communication course, your instructions are going to look a little bit different. So please make sure that you're clicking into the week one for your class. But again, each week, an additional week is going to populate on Monday every week so that you can continue to build your semester. Now, if you are a student who likes to look ahead and the thought of having to wait to see what's going on next week, which is drive you crazy, well, I have help for you. If you go back to that course information tab where it says syllabus and addendum, there is a document down here that says master weekly schedule. This weekly schedule is exactly what it sounds like. It is a weekly schedule of the entire semester. It also has a table of contents in it, so if you want to look and see what's happening in, for example, week 6, you can click on week 6 and it will hyperlink you straight there and you can see what content we are covering that week. So if you have a cruise planned or you have a medical situation that is looming on the horizon, you can use this master weekly schedule to look ahead in the semester and make your plans accordingly, and I will be happy to work with you. Now, as far as everything else, I have everything else hyperlinked into your weekly modules. So for example, in week one of this particular course, I have two things I want you to accomplish. I want you to review the course agreement, which is at the end of your addendum document. It means you'll have to actually read it to find it. And then there is a syllabus quiz that is going to quiz you on the policies that are in the syllabus and addendum to make sure you and I have a common understanding of what the expectations are for this class. So if you were in a regular course, you'd have to come up here to the assignments tab. I'm going to click on that really quickly, and you'd have to find where to turn in your course agreement. Also, if you were in a normal course, you would have to go over here to quizzes to turn in your quiz. But because I enjoy trying to make things simple, I have things linked directly into the assignments for you. So you should be able to come to where it says assignment folder and just click on it, and right there it's taking you where you need to go. Again, yours is going to look a little bit differently from mine because mine is a faculty point of view. Same thing with the quiz. You can click on it and it'll take you straight to the quiz where you can take it, and you don't have to poke around throughout D2L to find what you need. It takes on average about 150 hours for me to write one of these courses from beginning to end, but the hope is to give you all a one-stop shop where you can just log into your course, read your announcements, go to the content tab, and find everything you need. You can, of course, go to the grades tab to see your grades. And you can go to the assignments tab to see feedback and that type of thing. So you can use more functions. But as far as accessing the content you need, turning in your work, and accessing lectures and anything else from me, I've tried to keep it all in one place. I hope you have a wonderful first week and email me if you have any questions.